content contains strong language and may not be suitable for children. This content is primarily for adults as this is a trucking channel and truckers have filthy mouths. Please don't tweak if I say viewer discretion is advised.
Sweet.
All right. How's everybody doing? Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good morning. How's everybody doing? Come on in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. Let me see here. Blow this up on that side. All right. How's everybody doing? Come on in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let me know where you're checking in from. We're going to pin the link to the top of the chat. We're going to allow people to call in today. This is not the call-in show, the call-in show. But I want to do this as an open discussion. All right. Clearly, you obviously see the topic. And this is something that's, brought up, not even time to time. It's always brought up in regards to social media influence pertaining to, the trucking industry, but, primarily in this case, the box truck, let's say the box truck cargo van industry, are influencers, box truck business influencers, the cause of so many failures in this sector of transportation logistics. So let's make it an open discussion. Obviously I'm going to, do my monologue, but, feel free to call in with your thoughts. If you feel like you've been a victim or you have been a victim of, misinformation due to social media influence from, someone or parties in this industry as far as this sector, feel free to call in and give your thoughts or tell your story. It's open. So, all right, come on in, hit the like button. Let me know where you're checking in from. Shout out to Kelvin Birch, representing Texas in the bill. Great polo. Shout out to all the MGM members. Shout out to William Sweet, Dirty Glove. Jay Stokes, representing Michigan. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Sharks World, what's going on? Goat Logistics. Shout out to Andrew Green, Chris Remar, H-Town in the building. Marie Reeder, Advocate for Justice, has a question. Okay, well, all right, I got my lecture that I got to do. So I'm only talking about the topic today, and I got the link pinned to the top of the chat. Feel free to call in whenever, it's pinned to the top of the chat. Let me know, let me know your thoughts. So link is pinned to the top of the chat. All right. Social media influence when it comes to box trucking or transportation or cargo van logistics are influencers the result of so many failures in the industry. My thoughts on it, yes and no. Right. So I'm going to give, my opinion, right? These are my honest thoughts. And I've said them before. I'll say them again. There's a lot of new people to the channel. There's a lot of new people to the industry. And, people search out information and consume information to seek answers to some of the questions that they need to help propel them forward in this industry. All right, so here's how I look at it. Yes and no. No. All right. So the no part. As a business owner, you're responsible for every single aspect of your business. Every single aspect. All right. All the way down to consulting, right? When you go out and you seek a professional consultant to consult you for your business, it's your job to do the proper due diligence on the individual or the company, right? The consulting firm that you hire, right? It's just like you going out hiring any service. You go out, you hire a plumber, you go out and hire an electrician, you hire a moving company, you're going to do your due diligence, you're going to, ask for referrals or references, you're going to go on Yelp, you're going to go on Google, you're going to read reviews, you're going to exercise some level of common sense, right? So when you go out and you're coming into the industry, you start to consume information, and I understand we're in a different time period. We're in a just the way people consume information. They go out and research, and you go to YouTube, you go to Facebook, you go to Instagram, right? And you start to consume information. You start to consume content. It's your job to fully vet out the individuals that you are taking this information in on. It's your fault if you fall victim or you feel like you got victimized because you made a poor decision for your business. You can't place the blame fully on the individual that you hired that misled you, right? Even if you were 100% taken advantage of, right? You have to be uh, uh, a good business owner and accept responsibility for that action. Even if you were misled, you still have to accept that responsibility, right? Because there's going to come a time if you make it, right? And if you scale where you're going to be responsible for other people's livelihood, all right? And I know this is not something people want to hear. That's why you listen. Whenever the truth comes out, you can tell by the actions, and you know which actions I'm talking about, right? When you get to a point where you scale, right, you're going to be responsible for other people's livelihood, right? And the decisions you make are, other people are going to fall victim if you make poor decisions. All right. So you have to hold yourself responsible for the decisions that you make. When I say common sense is not being utilized today when people go out and seek information for business, and I use this example all the time, and I'm going to use it again. You'll see content from individuals that are just coming into a sector themselves, and they're selling education, and you buy into it. To me, that's, it doesn't make sense. Why would I go spend money on someone that's clearly telling me they're just getting started to sell? What value can they bring me when they're learning themselves? But we see so many people have done it. We see so many people continue to do it. So when I say yes and no, are influencers and, gurus and things of that nature responsible? This is the no. There's no way on God's green earth I'm going to spend an exorbitant amount of money to buy information from someone who is in the same boat as me, who's actively searching for information to better themselves as well. It don't make sense. Now on the yes side, of course, people are being misled. Well, I've pinpointed people out. I've called people out. I've brought up some situations, some shit that I've seen and some shit that I've come across as far as content in the space, and poked fun and trolled and things of that nature. So yeah, it exists. But then that all leads back to the individual that sought out the information, because every piece of misinformation that I've come across in this sector, right, of trucking, right, as far as box trucking, the misinformation comes from people that are less tenured in the space. So I say that to say this: experience is always going to be your best teacher. Now, I'm not telling you that so that you can stop consuming information from specific people and then consume it from people who are more experienced. That's not what I'm saying. You know, you got to do what you feel like you're doing. If you want to consume information from someone who came into an industry, it doesn't necessarily have to be trucking. If you're looking to, you know, consume financial information, you're looking to consume information when it comes to investments or whatever the case may be, so that you can take this information and apply it in your daily life, and you want to just consume information because you like an individual and ignore all the information that I just told you as far as experience and tenure, then go ahead, be my guest. But you're going to continue to have the same results that you've been having thus far, because all the misinformation that I come across come from people that are just not really tenured in the space. Now, is there ethics behind shit? A person, you know, where's that moral compass of an individual that's selling information, knowing that they don't have the experience to morally or ethically sell courses and sell mentorship when they're learning themselves? Listen, that's on that individual, right? But, you know, you got to have the common sense to know, listen, this don't really make that much sense. I come across, you know, content all the time, and, you know, I get challenged all the time. Mark, why don't you call out this person? Why don't you call? Listen, the amount of shit that comes in my DM is people that are asking me for help, and then I got a bunch of other shit that comes in my DM and my emails and my messenger on Discord of other shit that people see, and they say, man, Mark, you need to call this person out. Look at this shit. This is some crazy ass shit. And it's always someone that's, well, you know, hey, you know, I just started my box truck business. Let me show you how you can run up a 6-figure box truck business by renting a truck, and tap the link below and buy my this course and my that course about my mentorship. The key word, I just started. Let me show you. If I'm just starting, how can I show you anything? I'm still trying to figure. Listen, it took me about, I'm gonna say about 7 to 8 years to say I had fully mastered this sector of transportation logistics. I was still learning shit after the first year. I was still learning shit after the second year. By the third year, I was still learning shit. I was transitioning from under the table to legal. I was still learning shit, and I separated the moving from the trucking, from the final mile. I'm still learning shit. I'm learning how to purchase shit the correct way as a business. I'm learning that 4 years in, I'm learning that, guess what? Even though I'm doing great and I'm at that point within the 5 stages of growth, I'm at that takeoff phase, stage 4, that I'm still learning shit, things that I think are gonna be this way forever. I'm learning that, you know what? Damn, I just lost an account because the company that I'm running this account through lost it to the retailer. So now I lose it by default. I learned that, yes, this shit ain't gonna last forever. I learned that, listen, we gotta diversify. I learned in 2015 that, guess what? I learned about disruption. Amazon was starting to really disrupt things in 2014, but we didn't really, we saw something going on, but we didn't realize it until the Q4 numbers came out for Amazon in Q1 of 2015 when they had their earnings call, and they did something that hadn't been done before. They reached $100 billion, was $105 billion in gross revenue. Oh, okay, so this is why we see freight on our smaller parcel account starting to diminish. The freight is starting to, it used to be here, but now it's going down. Okay, here's why. I learned about disruption. 2016, I'm getting into cross-docking. I'm learning about that. 2017, I'm realizing about, God damn it, disruption is still playing a part. I'm realizing that technology is going to ultimately continue to scale, and as time goes on, it's going to scale a lot quicker and a lot faster. I learned about, well, shit, I need to come up with an exit. I learned about behavior. I started to learn about behavior in 2017, going into 2018. Consumer behavior, and now I'm learning about the behavior and the mindset of employees. Because guess what? 4 years prior, when I was scaling up my fleet, I'm like, shit, the more trucks I buy, the more people I can hire, the more money I'll make. Because guess what? People gonna always need a job and gonna want to work. And the more trucks I got, the more money I make. I remember saying this in my head. This was one of the main reasons why I delayed gratification and focused on scaling. Because I thought, man, as long as I got a bunch of trucks, people gonna always need work. I remember saying this to myself. I remember having conversations about this. But in 2017, 2018, I started to see a shift. As a good businessman, I'm always forecasting. So I said, well, man, this continues to go on. What I thought 4 or 5 years ago ain't what I thought. Let me get an exit plan, because I don't want to get caught left holding the bag. This is something that I talk about in the members only. This is things that we talk about in the Discord. You don't want to be the person get caught left holding the bag. So let's continue to run it up. Let's continue to make money. Let's continue to bring this money in and appropriate it into different things that are going to continue to make us money, so that when we're long gone, we're still reaping the rewards of what actually put us in the position to make this money elsewhere. So for the life of me, it's crazy to me how people complain about they bought this or they bought that. They consume this or they consume that from an individual that's new. But because you like this individual, because they're stroking your ego and telling you, tap in, you're going to run it up. Let me show you how to run a six-figure box truck business or a 7-figure box truck business by tapping the link below, when they told you, own the new. They own the new. Whose fault is that? Truly. Whose fault is that? It's nobody's fault but your own. I'm fighting for my life, let's say. Money is not an object, right? I'm fighting for my life. I have the money to invest into someone who's going to represent me for my freedom. I got the capital. I got lawyer A over here who passed the bar a year ago, who's practicing law at a firm. He's not a partner, but he passed the bar. He has his law degree that he can represent me in my freedom. Whatever the case that I'm fighting, whatever it is, here's an option for me to hire to represent me. Or I got this guy over here who has tenure, who has a history. There's more reviews on this individual. I can get more references from this individual. I can actually look up cases that this individual worked on. 30 years of experience. Let's say 15 years of experience. And I'm looking for a person to represent me. Now, these are my two options. smart business guy or girl. You got the capital, right? Because a lot of people went out there, and I've seen people spend 20,000, 10,000, 5,000, 8,000, 12,000 on mentorship and coaching. Mentorship primarily for that type of money. With people who are brand new. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, whatever, still new. And then complain. There's no way on God's green earth, if I'm fighting for my freedom, am I going to choose a guy who just passed the bar? Who's going to be the prosecutor on the other side? I need somebody that because the prosecutor could be real tenured. They could have all the tricks in the trade. Not only the tricks of the trade, the relationships. A lot of things in law aren't just, skill. It's relationships too. I'm going to go with the person who's more tenured. I got a better chance with the person who's more tenured because they have experience. That lane going in that direction makes more common sense. And then this is why they say common sense ain't so common. This is why people run around and say things, oh, you're taking cheap freight. You know why? When I talk about the whole cheap freight thing, it's an excuse. Because majority of people that say that shit, when you ask them what their cost per mile is, they don't know it. So their answer to why their business is failing is just saying something that they heard on the internet or they heard somebody else say. Man, it's messed up out here because these people keep taking cheap freight. But when I denounce that shit, I get the backlash, right? But then when I turn around and ask a person what's their cost per mile, what's their operation cost, they don't know. So how can you say shit when you don't even know what it costs you to run your business? This is why I can say, listen, let's debate. I got a nickel, or I got 10, I got a sawbuck, or I got 15, or I got 20. The same reason why you saying people keep taking cheap freight and you don't know the reason why your business is failing, and you just saying some shit that you heard on the internet, you heard other people say as an excuse to why your business is failing. It's the same reason you went out and you paid $10,000 for a goddamn course or a mentorship with someone that literally, and you go look through their content, just went out and rented a truck. They sitting on the truck like this, saying just new business owner alert. New business owner alert. 3 posts ago, it was new business owner alert 8 days ago. 3 posts later, tap into the link below. Let me show you how to start a 6-figure or 7-figure box truck business. If I just went out and rented my box truck 3 posts ago, which was 8 days ago, how can this person show me how to make 6 figures? They made 6 and 7 figures in 8 days? And then when I present it to you like this, you get upset because I just made you look like a fool. So then the other day when I said you was a fool, this is why I mean you a fool. You a fool. You're not going to know you being misinformed because you don't know the industry. Shit that I can dissect and pinpoint when people say, of course you're not going to understand it. So you have to use common sense when you're selecting people, when you're doing due diligence on who you're going to consume information from. Of course you are not going to know the margins is 70%. If you ain't did no research your damn self and somebody say, yeah, because somebody in the chat told them they didn't know the answers that somebody in the chat put it, and then they just agreed with it. Of course, these people ain't going to be able to guide you down the right path when they don't, or the individual doesn't have the experience and hasn't been in the industry long enough to see and experience certain things to know how to navigate their way out of it or navigate their way around it to be able to relay that information to you or be able to forecast. The reason why they run away from my approach is because they don't know it. Now, I know you in your head thinking I'm talking about one in particular person, and I'm not. I'm speaking in totality. I have no individual person in my mind. This is just a topic that has been coming up recently. It's a conversation that we had yesterday, and I was supposed to do this yesterday, and I'm doing it today. The fault is yours because you lack common sense. You're making ill-advised, bad decisions at the inception of your business. At the very beginning, you're making poor decisions. And one of the main reasons is because you're lacking the effort to go out and do what's in the best interest of you and do the research, really buckle down and do the research to kind of understand some of this basic information. Listen, you'd rather go out and spend 4 and 5 figures on basic information and be misled. It's crazy to me. There's no way on God's green earth I'm gonna go get somebody 4 and 5,000 for some Googleable shit. Googleable. And then be misinformed on that shit. You a fool. On the other side of the equation, yeah, people wrong for misleading people. But here's the thing. When people see opportunity, they're going to take advantage of unsuspecting people. Hit the like button. People going to take advantage of unsuspecting people. We saw a lot of it in 2020, 2021, 2022. We still seeing it today, 2024. Just not as much, but we still see it. And guess what? It's like I tell people all the time. There's always going to be new players. I see new players all the time. You know why? Because y'all send them to me. There's people that I've never had engagement with, right? As far as in this space. And when y'all send me shit, it says I can't see it. You know why? Because they block me. They see my content. They say, I'm going to stay away. Let me just block this guy because I don't want him to see the shit that I'm putting out because I don't really know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I don't want to be one of the guys that he highlights on his shit. It'd be people that y'all be sending me in the DM and I can't see it because they blocked me. Never had engagement. Never knew they existed. Don't know who the fuck they are. I swear for God. And these are people, when I go look at, gotta go on somebody else's page or somebody else's phone and look it up. Somebody that literally just started in the industry that's selling you some bullshit. The reason why they block it, because they don't want me to see it because I'm gonna mess up the bag. I'm gonna mess the money up. They don't want to even put themselves in the position. Let me just block this dude because if he ever comes across and ever decides to highlight and showcase this shit that I'm putting out, it's gonna be bad for business. Let me just go ahead and block him. Never had no interactions with them. Didn't know they existed. Never had no art. Nothing. Didn't know they existed. I swear to God. Because I'm going to mess the money up if I do. And I don't even do that. So what does that tell you? Link is pinned to the chat. If anybody wants to have an open discussion, talk about it, or you want to share one of your experiences, be my guest. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. Whenever you're ready. This is something that was requested for me to do, so I'm doing it. Because what happens is the discussions are offline in private settings and private forums, but maybe the discussion needs to be held online. I know what I'm talking about. I've been doing this long enough on YouTube, over 2 years, for people to know that I know what I'm talking about. This is why I can challenge people to educational debates. I know I'm confident in my information. Why? I got the years. And listen, check this out. If it pisses you off that I brag on it, that just lets me know what type of individual you are. Listen, when you spend time learning something, from doing it and educating yourself on it, you're supposed to brag on it. You brag on all the dumb shit. You brag on how you just went out and bought this car that you can't afford. You brag on that trip that you can't afford to take that you paying by 4 with Afterpay. You brag on how you fucked this other dude's bitch. Don't get mad at me because I'm bragging on the fact that I'm educated. And I know an industry like the back of my hand. Don't get mad at that shit. Take that, take that, take that, take that, take that, take that. No Diddy. I'm not finna put myself in a situation where I'm reliant on an unexperienced individual to guide me to the land of glory by telling me, oh, I'm going to help you build a 6-7 figure box truck business and generational wealth, and you fall for that shit. Hey, you're not going to build it, pimp, with one box truck. One box truck ain't going to get you there. It's not. I've proven over a period of time that most people that operate one box truck can't even afford to cover their cost of living. So how's it going to get you generational wealth when you ain't even got health care? You robbing from the sustainability of business. How you going to have enough money where you can sustain a business, pay yourself enough to sustain your lifestyle, your living, pay yourself enough from the business to cover your cost of living and save on a personal level, invest on a personal level, and have cash flow for the business? So how are you going to have enough to put away for generational wealth? Consistently. If I came across a person not knowing any information, listen, certain things just don't make sense. Well, man, my box truck business made $125,000, $130,000 last year. So I made $130,000. No, you didn't. Well, what's your operational cost? What's your profit margin? What you mean? You get sold by numbers. Let me show you how to make a 6-figure box truck business. Okay, you make 150. More than 50% of that 150 you made is going to go to cost. It costs you to make money. You got sold on a number. The same way you pick loads without knowing your cost per mile, you picking them based on the number you see. $1,500, $1,800, $1,200, $800. You just looking at a number. All right, that's paying $1,000. I'm gone. Don't know your cost per mile. Don't know if you making money from that load. Don't know if you losing money. Don't know how much you losing, how much you running in a deficit, how much you gonna profit. You don't know. You just looking at a number. You allowed yourself to get sold a dream because somebody said tap in. Let me show you how to build a 6-figure box truck business. You could already be making $100,000 on your job, but you got sold a dream, generational wealth. I can't work for nobody. We got to build generational wealth. Man, there's people building generational wealth working for a job. I know a bunch of people that built generational wealth working a job. Listen, you leave a 6-figure job to go grow 6 figures with a truck that you still got to pay yourself after you cover the cost to make that 6 figures. There's a range of what you're going to make. If you do your research, you'll know what that range is. And more times than not, you're going to take home less money than if you stayed at that 6-figure job with that 6-figure salary. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't surpass what you were making, but you're not going to be able to do that with one truck. If you're making $150,000 as an employee, as a salaried employee, at a career, and you transition from that into a box truck business that's grossing $150,000, you're actually making less money. And somebody asked me the other day in Discord, well, how? That's my money. Duh, it costs you to make that money. It's not costing you to make the money when you go to work. I mean, it may cost you some fuel or something to get there, whatever the cost may be, but after taxes, you're walking away with more money. You're being taxed as an individual less than what the operational cost is for that same $150,000. And then you come and ask me, where's all the money going? It went to operational cost. Now you're robbing from the sustainability of the business because you bought into generational wealth. And then the blame game starts. They taking cheap freight. I bought this from dude ass over there. He sold me a dream. This, that. Nah, pimp, you sold yourself the dream because you didn't have common sense. You didn't do the due diligence. You bought into the bullshit. They just as bogus, but you bogus too. Stop playing the, listen, stop pointing the finger and accept the responsibility. They bogus, yeah, they bogus. They bogus. Why you think they don't fuck with me? Because they watching right now. You already see a lot of them implementing the same shit that they was denouncing 2 years ago into their content now. You got motherfuckers talking about moving, probably couldn't even lift a fucking microwave. You got motherfuckers talking about moving. Hit the like button. This same person, somebody sent me this same person I'm talking about the movie, said he got into the box truck business because there was no operational cost. What type of sense does that make? Listen, this same motherfucker that's talking about moving now, somebody sent me something in a commercial. He said he started a box truck business because there was no operational cost. What? Where's the? I need to get the Russell West the Russell Westbrook meme when he was like, "What? What are you talking about?" I need to get that. I'm finna get that. These are the things that, and I'm just keeping it a buck. But it's people out there that hear that shit. It goes in one ear and out the other, and you don't take the time to dissect it or comprehend to catch that. Wait a minute, hold on, that don't make sense. You mean to tell me I can start a box truck business? It's not gonna cost me anything to run it? That shit makes no sense. Listen. You already know I can comprehend. So when I heard the motherfucker say this, because somebody sent it to me, and I didn't believe him. I said, man, that person didn't say that. That person didn't say that. You mean to tell me that person said, bro, you got to send me that. I don't believe you. The person who sent it to me, I told him I didn't believe him because I didn't think nobody would say no dumbass shit like that. Now, I'm not on no bullshit. I'm just keeping it a buck. Mark, why don't you talk about other things? I'd like to hear your take on other things. Well, here's the thing. I have takes on other things, but if I'm not experienced and professional in those things, the last thing you're going to hear me do is go on a public platform on a growing channel and talk about things I'm not well versed in. If I have an opinion on it, maybe I'll speak to it in a smaller setting. But this is the reason why I don't expand my channel and I'm comfortable in this small little niche because I know I can dominate it because I know I got the experience. Why would I go talk about other shit that I don't know so somebody can do to me what I'm doing to somebody else right now? Why would I set myself up for that? Did you hear what that guy just said? That shit didn't make no sense. Why would I go do some dumb shit like that? No, I'd rather stick my ass right here in something that I got going on damn near 2 decades of experience doing that I know inside and out, and I can talk, give people advice, give people my experience that yield results because of my tenure, and call out bullshit when this shit don't make sense. This shit don't even make, like, why would I go do some shit like that? This is why this is why they call me a bully, and this is why they fear me. And they watching right now mad, but it's the truth. Stop saying shit that you don't know what the fuck you talking about, misleading people. Now I'm on their ass. I'm on their ass now. I'm on their. I ain't got off for you. Let me get on their ass now. Stop saying shit if you don't know what you're talking about. Stop misleading people and selling education and you don't know what you're talking about. Show your journey and leave that shit at that. Show your journey and leave it at that. You bogus, you wrong. And I'm not speaking to one individual person. I'm speaking in general. People that know that they don't have a full, vast understanding of this industry, they know who they are. or focus on your strong points. While you're on your journey, share your journey. There's nothing wrong with that. But to sell someone something at an exorbitant price and you don't have enough experience, listen, everything that I forecasted, from your peak seasons to your Amazons to your, as far as the volume to even some people that's in the members only, stocks and cryptos and just certain things that we talk about come from experience, right? Whether it was, my tenure, my combination of my tenure and just my, background, combination of just my tenure, my background and my research. But you're talking about years and years and years. This is how I'm able to confidently 2 years ago and say, listen, y'all tweaking, y'all ain't gonna see, even with all the backlash that I got. What are y'all so excited for? Yeah, I know Buddy Ass told you go out and do what's not in your best interest. Go rent some more trucks because we finna run it up. This is verbatim. I heard multiple people say that shit 2 years ago. And then when it came, I heard crickets. But guess who went on a world tour? Me. I showed my ass. You know why? Because it was me against everybody. Then I showed you how to forecast the shit the following year. I showed you how to forecast the shit, but because people just want to believe, listen, this shit ain't just going to happen just magically. In order to move something at volume, it has to be tangible. It has to exist. It has to be tangible. I showed you how to forecast it, but yet and still. And then here we are again. It's just not gonna arrive. I don't like. Well, Freightwaves said this. I don't care what Freightwaves told you. I'm telling you what's going to happen. But man, Mark, how you know that? What did I tell you? Start studying behavior. Look at things from a micro and a macro perspective. Listen, economics just doesn't exist just because. It's there for a reason. It's there for a reason, because you don't want to take your time because it's just drawn out and long and I'm out here. Listen, to all the I'm out here people, listen, put your bread up, pimp. Because guess what? The fundamentals haven't proven me wrong yet. So take your ass, continue to stay your ass out there operating at a loss, not knowing what's to come, not knowing how to maneuver, not knowing how to navigate, because you don't know how to forecast, not knowing your operational costs because you don't know arithmetic. I'm going to continue to educate people on how to educate themselves so that they can continue to beat you in your ignorant mindset. Because we need ignorant people. We need people to not do what's in the best interest for them. So keep thinking that economics doesn't play a part. And I'm going to keep proving you wrong every single time. Keep thinking that these things that are in place for a reason, like division and multiplication. Listen, fixed cost, variable cost. The addition there, there's division there. You don't want to do it. Math exists for a reason. Use the shit to your advantage. It doesn't cost you to add and divide. Stop blaming that shit on some shit that you got misled. You did get misled, but stop blaming on that shit. You got misled because you chose to get misled. Now fix the shit. Add and divide. Get your cost per mile. Add, line, total, divide. Add the miles you driven. Divide. Use math. Study basic economics. Understand the economy from an individual perspective. Understand the economy from a holistic perspective. Study consumer behavior, consumer buying behavior. You move goods. You don't move services. You are the service. You should be monitoring, measuring goods. From a macro, listen. And you won't, listen, you think you're going to make generational wealth and you ain't even doing what's in your best interest? You can't even, find your favorite content creator and that misled you and go back to him and say, hey, I need you to give me, I heard you sell me on this generational wealth. I didn't ask you, how can I, give me the formula for generational wealth? Because you told me if I bought your mentorship and I bought your course, that this course was going to take me to generational wealth. What's the formula for that? Can you give me a blueprint to how, because I bought it, I felt like it wasn't, so, but I didn't ask you, because the generational wealth part, I don't. Look at what they doing. How can somebody show you generational wealth? Are they living proof of generational wealth? What are they doing? Can they give you a blueprint to that? Because I can guarantee you, it's not going to come from one box truck directly. That can be the start of it. But I can give you a blueprint, and I've given you a blueprint both on the public channel, I've given in the members only, and I've given in the Discord. I've given you the blueprint on how to do it. Can they? And I did it for free. I gave it for free on the public channel. I gave a more advanced outlook on it in the members only. There's no such thing as a dumb business owner. There's no such thing as a successful, dumb business owner. Dumb and success don't equate. So when I hear people say shit like, oh, well, all that shit over there, man, I'm out here. That shit don't mean shit to me. You're right. You're out there. I'm in the house. I've been here. So go to these people that sold you these dreams. A lot of them on Instagram. Most of them, majority of them on Instagram. It's a few on YouTube. A lot of ones that was on YouTube, they gone. But it's still some still lingering around. But most of them is on Instagram. And ask them how to do this to get you this generational wealth. I'm curious. I'm curious to know the blueprint that they're going to give you. What's their outlook on the next 5 to 10 years? Y'all love asking me that question. Why do y'all like asking me that question? Because you've seen me show and prove that I know how to forecast. Ask them what's their outlook. Because I'm curious to know. I know where it's going, and I tell you where it's going, and the same pushback that I get on certain things now is the similar pushback I got. Because, see, a lot of people want to believe certain things. You wanted to believe that you was going to run it up in 2022 during peak season. You wanted to believe that because you ran it up in 2021. But you didn't look at the economics of it like I did. And when I showed your ass, you didn't want to believe it, even though it was right there in front of you. And I proved it to you. You didn't want to believe it. Because said, sir, people told you, oh, ain't no way. So link is pinned to the top of the chat. Listen. Y'all thought I was going to come beat up them. I'm more beating you up. If I run into a stranger on the street and they say, man, let me get $20, I'll be right back. Just stand right here, I'm going to be right back. And I give them $20 thinking that they're going to be right back. That's on me. Why did I do that? I don't even know this dude. Why did I give him $20 thinking he was going to really come right back? I didn't even ask him what he needed the $20 for. I didn't even ask him, when is he coming back? Just gave him $20 because I thought they were cool. Can I blame people in the world are just mean and hateful? No, I gotta blame myself. I gotta blame that shit on myself for being a goofy. But then again, I'm not a middle American, so. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. Everybody wants to have this conversation. Behind the scenes and send me this shit. And now let's have a public conversation about it. I've said what I had to say. My monologue is done. Use common sense, practice common sense. Stop falling for, propaganda and things that sound good. Listen, I'm telling you this now. Getting a box truck, building it is going to be one of the hardest things that you probably ever done. And what you think you're going to make, probably not going to take that home, especially if you're already at a certain point in life with, established and shit like that. You got to live. I've never heard anybody talking about associating their living cost and understanding what it costs you to live and making sure that the business can pay you enough until recently. But I've been talking about that stuff. See, here's the thing. Stuff has to make sense. It's got to make sense, man. When I look at things, when I read things, when I consume information, it has to make sense. Stop taking shit in and just running with it. Correct you, big brother. Shout out to Talking with Ty. Peace, my brother, once again. Wise before your time. Appreciate the content. Appreciate you for tapping in. Shout out to Marie. I see Axel in the building. Pippi. Diego. Some of y'all want to know who's the content creator. I'm going to let you do your own due diligence because I'm not here to really call nobody out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using that as a case study, but it does exist. If you do your due diligence, you'll find it. You'll find it. You'll find it. What's your thoughts on 26-foot box truck, OTR, feasibility? I think the lane exists. I think if that's something you want to do and you understand your operational costs and you know how to come in, understanding your operational costs, keeping it low so that you can compete at the current state of the market, and you're willing to stay out, I think it can be profitable for you. So, yeah. Do I know anything about the dump truck business? I don't know about the dump truck business per se, but I did have a dump trailer, and I was in the junk removal business for a year. So from the truck perspective, no. From a trailer perspective, yes. Shout out to Marcus Davis. Appreciate you. I think we all can all agree no one's coming to have the debate. Oh, I know nobody's coming out of the debate. That's just a way of me bragging. Listen, we got people brag on the dumbest shit in the world, so I'm going absolutely 100%. We need to see more people, promote education. And I said this before, being educated in the field that you're in is going to be your sharpest tool, your best weapon. It's going to always be your best weapon. Just so many people nowadays don't take the time or see the necessity in doing so. And it's sad, it's sad. It's sad that people, the way people consume information now, it's, that the way people consume it is lazy. So You know, just seeing someone just go and read and study and read and just buckle down and read and consume, and couple that with, you know, in the field experiences, and then go back and take those in the field experiences and go back and look at the pros and the cons, and then go back and focus on where they can make things better and grow. And like, ain't nobody doing this shit. They rather just come listen to somebody and say, oh, facts, gems, facts, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? They find people that they like and they just take that shit for what it is. Even with me, don't just take what I'm saying for what it is. Go back and do your due diligence. Especially if you on the new. If you just found my channel, don't take shit that I'm saying at face value. It takes a while to really say, you know what, I'm gonna let my guard down. I've been following this person for a while and this person's been spot on. You know, I can just kind of, take, what this person is saying at face value. But still, at that point, don't do it. You gotta always, exercise, due diligence and go behind and spot check. Always. Always. But, people find people because they seem cool, they like them. And then they feel like they, then they want to come back and complain to me. And then I have to hold them accountable and say, listen, how long the person been doing this? Yeah, from what my senior, a couple years. All right, well, what you expect? They still learning. They still figuring shit out. And then it's crickets. I would have been bogus. Listen. Let's say this form of technology existed back when I got started. I would have been bogus if I would have been up here in 2011, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. Like, all those years, I would have been bogus if I would have came up here trying to tell people shit. I was still learning shit, still experimenting with different things, still gaining experience. The reason I can tell you how much it costs to replace a roof is because I had a guy driving to a Vita, I can tear a roof off. The reason I can tell you how to go into a 3PL and get the route you want is because I went through that. The reason, like when I did the video the other day, and that video is new. And everything that brother talked about, down to the verbiage he used, verbatim, is things that I've been talking about for the past 2 years, from leverage to operational cost. Every single thing, each bullet point he went through are bullet points that I constantly educate people on every single time I go live. And he went straight down the line. You would have think he watches me all the time. But if you know this industry, because you have years of experience in this industry, the fundamentals are the same. The reason why I can tell you how to lean on people is because I lean on shit. The reason I can talk about leverage because I understood leverage. I realized leverage. And I can come in here and tell you how to throw your weight around. The reason why I can tell you, listen, I've always bought old trucks and I've always paid cash, and I can tell you to start from humble beginnings and you're going to probably see better results because I started from humble beginnings and y'all seen the results. The reason my margin, and I can tell you how to increase your margin, is because I figured out ways to increase my margin. The reason why I say, you probably want to buy an older truck is because I know you're going to make more money with an older truck than with a newer truck because your operational cost is going to contribute to your operational costs coming down. the reason I can tell people, and they didn't, like when I told people this, they were like, what? You can do that? I said, bro, you running locally. Why do you got an interstate authority for your trucking company? You just drop it down to interstate. Your insurance is going to go down significantly. Well, you can do that? Bro, you're not crossing state lines. You got a local route within 50, 75 miles, and you're complaining to me about cost, and I'm giving you ways to cut your cost. I didn't know you can do that. Yeah. Listen, if I got a company that's local, why am I going to pay an exorbitant cost when I don't have to? This goes back to experience. And I'm telling you all this shit for free. Man, brokers. Well, nobody talking about that shit. Then got to remember my broker. I told you about the differences between brokers. What do you mean to tell me all brokers aren't the same? Of course they're not. It's a broker. It's an insurance broker. This insurance broker is not going to be the same as that insurance broker. I've proven to you that I had a guy that came up here that was paying $1,800 a month for his van with Progressive. I did an experiment with him. I sent it to my broker. He's paying $898. He got cut in half, and he's still with Progressive. Mark, how is that possible? Because his broker took him on a ride, and my broker had his best interest at heart. You didn't even know that this broker and that broker can get you two different rates for the same insurance company. I showed you that. Experience. And I'm not going, it's plenty other tricks of the trade, but I got to be mindful because people take my shit and then they take it to their channel. These are things that I learned over the years. Even all the way to cross-docking. Now, they can't talk about that because they ain't on that level yet. You dig what I'm saying? They ain't playing that game yet. I hope maybe one of them, one day somebody get to that point. But even with the cross-docking, I could tell you, listen, people, man, Mark, what about cross-docking? I saw you did a few videos, you showed pictures, you called your warehouse, and I said, listen, if I had to do it over again, I wouldn't. And I told you why. The costs that was associated with cross-docking was so exorbitant, I didn't understand that shit going in. What I would have been look like when I first started cross-docking at my warehouse and then started to tell people and promote cross-docking, then a bunch of people would have went out and spent all this money on a warehouse and failed. I'm learning it this shit myself. I'm learning, goddamn, all this white glove shit, all this garbage that we got to take back, it's got to come back to my warehouse. And guess what? I got to dispose of it. Guess what? On my dime. Now I'm increasing my containers. Now I'm increasing more containers and more pickups a week, which is increasing how much money I got going out. I learned that. All the reverse logistics, all the pickups, that shit coming back to my warehouse. Guess what? All the materials it takes to properly palletize this shit while I'm waiting on a middleman semi-truck to come to my warehouse to pick this shit up, they didn't cover the cost for that. The warehousing, the security, goddamn feeding the pit bulls, running around the yard, all the goddamn dog food. I didn't think, listen, I can tell you all this shit because I experienced it. I can tell you the pros, the cons. The WMS software, the racking systems, maintaining the forklift, the propane, the cost of the maintenance of the forklift. All this shit come with experience. Mark, how you charge for moving? The reason why I can tell you how much you charge, I charge. Buddy come up on the call-in show, he's not booking any moves. It's the first of the month. Y'all watch me. I go through his whole shit. I look at his thumbtack. I look at everything. Everything that I told him to do, I said, lower your costs. He said, lower my costs. I said, lower your costs. I gave him the price to go. A month later, he came back like, Mark, I got to come back, bro. You the truth, dog. Everything you told me, I did it. Man, I took off, bro. Like, I got booking so many moves. When he came back and gave me them flowers, we ain't heard from him since. You know why? Because it's moving season. He too busy moving. Costas, I challenged Costas. He came up here, complaining this, that, and third. I told Costas, I said, why are you in Ohio? Why are you driving all across the road? You ain't from Chicago, bro. I said, come off that road, focus on Chicago. I gave him a blueprint. He made $31,000 in a cargo van last month. You know why I can tell people and look at their business, they can come to me and I can tell them, stop doing that or do this or do that and come back and give me my flowers because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I gave this dude a blueprint and he implemented that blueprint, and a month later he made $31,000 in a cargo van and came back up here and gave me my flowers. The moving dude, same situation. He didn't understand why I was telling him, bro, you got to lower your costs. Well, I'm lower than these guys. Listen, trust me, lower your costs. I told him what to put himself at as far as the price. I gave him the margins. I told him what to do with his description. I told him what to do with his pictures. A month later, he came back. Now, I'm not saying all this shit to boost myself up. I'm telling you shit because experience is the best teacher. A motherfucker can't tell you how to win if they still trying to figure out how to win. And I know they get mad. I don't give a fuck. Put your money up, pimp. Don't get mad behind the scenes. Put it up. Told you where you gonna make your most money with your box truck, how to make your most money with the box truck. See, I was learning all this shit 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22 when I retired. Shout out to the hater that just came in and hit the thumbs down. I appreciate you. I bet you they won't put that bread up though. You know why? Because they know they're not going to win. Matter of fact, link pinned to the top of the chat. I bet you they won't even show their face. How much you want to bet? I bet you they won't show their face. Link pinned to the top of the chat. Link pinned to the top of the chat, pimp. I bet you they won't hit it. Listen, I bet you they won't hit it. I dare them to hit it. I dare them to hit it. I dare you to hit it. I dare your ass to hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. You can come in, you can hit the thumbs down when I'm educating. Everything that I said, because you obviously a hater to hit the thumbs down for me educating people. So you a hater, so hit the link. See, your favorite content creators ain't going to tell you. It's only one other one that's really going to tell you to hit the link. The rest of these guys, they not finna do it because they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Hit the link, pimp. I bet you they won't do it. Sit in your truck and hate. Sit in that motherfucker and hate. Because you don't like me personally. Why you sitting here watching me with your goofy ass? Picking up information. Whether you a consumer of content or a creator. I bet you won't hit that link. See, they ain't gonna do this. You know why? Because they don't want to get challenged by somebody that may know more than them. Listen, creator or consumer of information, hit the link. I bet you won't hit it. See, me, I'm confident. I know what I know. I've been doing it too long. Hit it. It's your bad ass. You bad enough, hit it. Tough motherfucker, hit it. That's what I thought. I guess this one I'm a bully. Hey, Mark, your update. Me and Boo Bay are in CDL school now. Congratulations. Was that some of the advice that I gave you? Because the way y'all, from what I remember, y'all was one of the ones that thought y'all was finna quit both of y'all jobs. Y'all gonna go from 2 incomes coming in to 1 box truck. So this sounds like a better plan. So see that, y'all? See how I just come and prove. Well, there you have it. So the decisions you make on how you consume information and take in information, you have to make well-informed decisions. All right. The only person that you have to blame is you. All right. So no one has any stories or anything that they want to talk about, then I think I'm done here. I'm done here. Yeah, I'm done here. Hey, experience is your best teacher. Stop doing what's not in the best interest for you, okay? Let me read these last few comments. Shout out to Moving Company Hustle in the building. We ain't seen Costa since he is out getting to the money. Yeah, getting to it. We ain't seen Buddy from the moving thing either. We ain't seen, like, once they come and I give them the blueprint, all they needed was somebody to really give them the blueprint that got the experience and tell them how to win. Listen, man, I run into people all the time. Man, I need your help. Mark, I follow your channel. I need your help, bro. Listen, all people need is the direction on how to win. And once you give people the blueprint and direction, they're going to be too busy out winning. They ain't got time to. The reason why they watching is because they're trying to pick it up. But each individual that comes up on this call-in show, the ones that take the information the correct way and comprehend it, they always come back with flowers, and they too busy working. They make sure they come back and give me my flowers, but they be busy. Because what they needed, I took an hour or 2 out of my day on this public platform to really mentor an individual from experience. To really coach someone from experience. And this is the only way you can get it from me. I've never done a paid mentorship, ever. This is the only way you can get it from me, by calling in on a call-in show. And I'm thinking about discontinuing it. I'm really thinking about discontinuing it. Sure am. I surely am. You know why? I'll say that for another time. All right, man. I guess whoever that was ain't gonna hit the link. So let me read these last little comments and then I'll get out of here. Manual Driver says, "What are 3 businesses that you would start in today's climate with the intention to scale?" Nothing that is extremely based around people as far as sourcing people to run it. So, nothing that I would need a multitude of people to operate. So, for instance, like restaurants and maybe like a brick and mortar store or something like that. I can't really give you an answer right off the top of my head. There's ideas that I have, but what I can tell you is it wouldn't be anything that would be reliant on a multitude of people, right? And we know why, right? People nowadays just aren't reliable. Uh, People look at work different. Uh, Opportunities are, just enormous now where people, you know, gig economy, coming in disrupting the work field. People just have a bunch of different ways they can make money now, and just the redundancy of coming to one job over and over and over again, just doing that over and like people just don't want to do that no more for whatever reason, whatever. But it wouldn't be anything that I would have to rely on people. Probably be something in tech where I would probably outsource uh, someone to build something for me, with the idea to ultimately sell it, not to hold on to it, to ultimately sell it and take that money and keep it moving and come up with the next idea. When you get to a point where you just have ideas, you just want to keep building things. You just want to keep creating things. You don't want to hold on to things. I think we're in a point now where if you have something successful, you have to create an exit strategy, sell it off, take the money, and keep it moving. Technology is moving at a fast pace now. So, we've seen instances of, industries and businesses that were on the top, and, those people in the board of directors that just held on to forever, and they thought things weren't going to change and technology just wasn't going to come in and disrupt things. We saw what is happening. We're seeing what is continuing to happen. So if you build something and you're winning at it, you need to create an exit strategy, get out, make your money, take the money, move on, create something else, repeat the process. So, so that's how I look at things now. Even with different things that I invest in, um, I make money, I take the money out, I reallocate that money to something else, right? Um, I don't hold on for dear life because from experience, I know what holding on for dear life will get you when investing into shit. It doesn't last forever. We're seeing that go on right now as we speak. This is a good segue. They're in the financial segment of influence on YouTube. There's an influencer of high magnitude. This guy's 2 million followers. He's apologizing because his courses and his information has misled people, not misled people to, because the information wasn't 100% right, but his outlook on the market, bull, bear, and, correlating that with the economy as far as his forecast on whether the market would flip bear, flip bull, he was wrong. And a lot of people are getting wrecked right now for the second day in a row, and he's had to come up and apologize. Me personally, the members only, in some aspects, I took profits, most of my profits in one sector a month and a half ago, and I've invested into specific things in the stock market, right? Because I took my profits in crypto and put it into stock, and I've seen gains. The people in the members only know. I name one specific company, within a day or two, it's gone up from where it was at. There's another company that I'm, really an advocate for, and even though it's down on the past 2 days, where it was at around this time last month, it's up $4 or $5 a share. So when everybody else is complaining, I'm still in the green. I know when to divest. I don't fall in love with things. I understand the economy. What goes up is eventually going to come down. I've been saying people ain't got it. I've been saying people are living on borrowed money. I pay attention to consumer buying behavior. I eavesdrop when I hear these chicks talking about how they taking trips and they paying by $4. Damn, I keep hearing people talk about this Afterpay shit. Maybe I should look into that. People are really out here paying for trips by $4? Why you going on a trip if you ain't got $2,500? So you paying by $4 and you sharing a room? Man, hit the. You mean it's 4 y'all to a room? 4, 5 chicks, 4, 5 bad bitches to a room. BBLs, tummy tucks, and y'all gotta share a room and pay by $4. Maybe we need to look into that. That may be a good investment. Listen, thank you. I appreciate you. Continue to do what's not in your best interest. I pay attention to all of this shit. So my outlook and that particular individual's outlook, who makes millions of dollars of courses in the financial influencer space online. This guy even has a private jet. Is having to apologize. Me, I look at it different. I say, okay, well, I know people ain't got it. I've been saying people ain't got it because I understand. I pay attention to consumer buying behavior. I pay attention to the economy. I see that services are up over goods. I see where the money is being spent. I go out to eat all the time. I went out to eat last night. Restaurant packed. How is it people are spending this money? Why is Nobu so crowded? And everybody is broke. But then first of the month comes around. Every market, every paper asset market is tanking. And here's the thing. I'm a smart guy. Let's look at the sentiment. Was there any bad news out there? Actually, it was good news yesterday. Biden said they'd find a way to relieve 25 million people their student loans. That's good news. That should be positive sentiment for the markets. But no, it was bad. So when people tell me economics don't play, so then I start to do I want to understand why this is happening. I got this guy over here apologizing. People are crying. I'm getting text messages. I'm on a Discord yesterday. My phone is blowing up from my friends that just getting wrecked and sending me links to this guy having to apologize. Then it dawned on me. I got a text message that said, "You're right." And it dawned on me. It's like, you were right. People ain't got it. It's the first of the month. So even with the positive information that was out yesterday that should ultimately reflect the market in a positive way, It didn't. All right. People are pulling from assets to cover their costs because their accounts got hit yesterday because it was the first of the month. And it continues today. You got a credit card deficit, highest repossessions of all time. So if it's the first of the month and I got rent just came out, mortgage, whatever, health insurance just came out, this bill just came out, that bill just came out, and I saw my account take a hit, or there's not enough money in the account to cover all the things that are coming out, now you have to replenish your account with assets that you can liquidate to cover the cost of living. It's not strange to me that this is happening on the first of the month. It's strange to them. But I've been seeing people ain't got it. Why? Paying attention to what's going on. If we're in a deficit as far as the credit, people are the credit deficit is the highest it's ever been. Like repossessions are high as they ever been. People ain't got it. On a macro level, you may have it, you may doing okay, but you have to look at things from a micro and a macro perspective. And then they say this shit don't matter. But I can get people messaging me and like, you was right. People are going to take money from where they have it at and liquidate that so that they can cover the cost of living. It's similar to you robbing from the sustainability of your business because you don't know your operational costs. Not to say that these people don't know operate. It's just people living above and beyond their means. That's why the credit deficit is so high. People are going out spending money on things to get their mind off everything else. So good times, good food, good restaurants, trips, service-based things, service-based experiences are winning. Things that are directly associated from a goods perspective, that are directly associated with experience-based service spending are doing good. I always like to use Sephora. They're doing good. Why? Because women have to go out and smell good and put the makeup on to go out for these social experiences that they can't afford. And they put it on credit. But then when the first of the month comes around and that account gets hit, let me go. I got some shares of Tesla. I got some shares of Apple. I got to sell this crypto. I got to do this. I got to do that. You got to liquidate. All right, man. Shout out to Darren B. Somebody said, which creator, influencer? I'm not going to say. I'm not here to, but, that influencer has been having two rough days. Whew. Like, man, a lot of people are not doing good. I mean, he's honest. He's being honest. That's something that you don't see from influencers. They don't come forward and be honest and say, listen, I messed up, or I said this, I was mistaken, I'm sorry, I'm not really. So I give them credit. But there you have it. All right. So I appreciate you. I'll probably jump on the Discord. What time is it? I want to hit the gym early today because I want to go kick it again tonight. I want to go out and catch me a nice meal and enjoy some good vibes. So I'm gonna get to the gym early. So I may kick it on the Discord for a little bit after this. Shout out to Keymonte Burnett. You're the realest hands. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. Till the next time. Peace.